Good morning once again. Aloha kakahiaka, yes. And there you are. Let's just take a nice deep breath and breathe that in, shall we? Let's join in our focus statement together here. So, with velocity, with vivaciousness, with every other word that begins with a V. Here we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, we do. That's what we are here to be about and to do here at Riverside Community Center for Spiritual Living. And this month we are exploring the deeper theme of light. And we have titled this theme for this month, Shine, Be Glorious. And at the beginning of the month, we talked about Hanukkah and the light and the dedicating ourselves to our spiritual practice to realize life and light. And last week, we talked about the pagan traditions of this season, that really the reason for the season is the season. And that it is a light and it is a return, the return of the light. And we talked about going in and hibernating, and that this is a time to turn within and to be reflective and introspective and to really reconnect with the light within each one of us and to begin to bring that forward. And so we'll talk about that more again today, that aspect of it. And today, the talk title is the theme for the month, and then Wayne's going to sing a fabulous song by Amy Steinberg, also by the same title, after the message this morning, and that is Shine, Be Glorious. Yum. When I heard the song back in, August, I think, when I first heard it, I attended an Amy Steinberg concert in Palm Springs, and she shared it for the first time in a more public way at that concert there. And it really, it was one of those instant, oh yeah, raise the hand, stand up, and, it's which we don't usually do in this denomination, but I was like, yes, yes, So it's been sitting with me, and then she just released her new CD at the end of last month, the beginning of this month. I don't know. It's all a blur at this point. I think it was sometime in November, actually. Yeah. And then got to hear it again. And then I reached out to Amy and I said, Amy, we're going to use that song for the whole theme for the month. What do you think about that? She's like, yes, oh my gosh. And then I said, and then can we get the charts? And she goes, I don't have charts yet for that. I'm like, Amy, help us out here. So within a couple days, actually, she sent charts. And so we're super excited. This will be the first time anybody hears it done by anybody other than Amy Steinberg outside of San Diego. So I know that Wayne and Sean are going to. Yeah, I know. No pressure at all. And she asked me to video it too, so even no more pressure, so. Good luck. But it's amazing. It's a great song. And you'll see why shortly. So if we're looking at Shine, Be Glorious, we want to look at some of those words in there and the ideas of light that are in there. So we're going to start off in an interesting place. We're going to start off with the 5th chapter in the biography written by Matthew. And we're going to start there, shall we? Like I said, it's an interesting place for us to start here, isn't it? Yes. All right. So in it, it says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they set it on a lampstand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Everybody breathe. For some of you, the language lands well. For others of you, the language might be going, for you, right? You might be having some kind of a reaction to the language. But it's all good. It's all good. So the very last part there about shining your light and do your good deeds before men to glorify your Father in heaven. Let's start there, because that's usually where people get a little tweaky. Looking at my front row. Yeah.
That would be me.
So what is it that we teach? Where does heaven reside? Where is heaven? Heaven is right within us, right? Heaven is right within. That's where heaven is. Heaven is a state of consciousness. So what is Father in this case? Father is creator. Father is that higher self, that higher being, that higher power of which we are one with. The who of who we are is the divine made manifest. So this Father, in the Aramaic language of the time, actually was referred to as Abba. Abba, A-B-B-A, Abba. And Abba really is a term of endearment meaning beloved. So the way we call friends aunties and uncles, right, for kids or what have you, the way we call other friends sister or brother or sibling, these are all terms of endearment. Well, at that time, Abba was that kind of a term of endearment, beloved. So the beloved who lives within is what we're really talking about. It's that beloved that lives within. And so if we recognize that it is the beloved who lives within, and it is that we are one with the beloved, that that is our true nature and the who of who we are, then our good works, when we come from that place, all the work that we do in the world is the work of good, is the work of the divine, is the life of the divine made manifest. And so when we're in alignment with that, and then we allow it to go forth and shine out from us, so that is the light within that we are allowing to be seen, that we are allowing to shine forth, and we are doing good works from that place. We are emanating and reflecting the divine out into the world. So does that phrase sit a little bit better for you now, Dinah? Yes, okay. Good. So really that's what this whole phrase, this whole passage right here is about, is that it is about being in touch with the divine, being in touch with our divine light, being in touch with the who of who we really are, and then living from that place, shining forth our light out into the world. And you know what? We can't help but do that. Browning, one of them, said, basically paraphrasing it, who you are speaks so loudly I can barely hear what you're saying, right? So when I hear that, sometimes I think, yes, that's true, in that, it's a really positive phrase. It's like who you are, the divine within you speaks so loudly that I see that and I hear that, and that is what I focus my attention on, regardless of any unskilled behavior that's showing up or appearing around you. And then sometimes I hear it, so that's in certain cases I'll hear it that way. And then in other cases I hear it, it's like, who you are speaks so loudly, I don't hear a word you're saying. Meaning like, the unskilled behavior is really prominent, and like, I don't care what platitude you're giving me, the unskilled behavior is really prominent right now. Which is not really the right way of looking at that phrase, right? But it is a way of looking at that phrase. So what we are called to do as practitioners, as ministers, as people of faith in this community, what we're called to do is we're called to see the good. We're called to see the higher, regardless of what is going on around. We're called to that higher level. I've been listening to the beloved Michelle Obama as I've been going back and forth between Las Vegas, and sadly I finished her book this morning. But in this morning's journey down, in the last couple chapters, she referred to her speech in Philadelphia, I believe it was, in 2016. When they go low, we go high. And that just landed with me so well this morning. I was like, it was just a beautiful reminder that that is really what we're called to do and what we're called to see and what we're called to experience in our lives, is to go higher, is to look higher, is to see beyond the world of effect and see beyond the world of appearances, to see the bright light shining within each one of us. And that light is there. The light is always there. And it says, don't try and cover it with a bushel or a jar or a basket or any other kind of vessel, depending on your translation of the texts. We can't cover it. We don't cover a light. Instead, we set it on the lampstand. We set it on the light stand so that it illuminates the whole house. So that all who enter can see the light and experience the light. And so what we're called to then do is to live from that place of light, live from that place of love, be the divine example of light, of love made manifest, and to stand proudly, nakedly, without any covering, and be the light, be the way shower for our fellow travelers on the path. That's who we're called to be. That's what we're called to be. And then it also says, a city on a hill cannot be hidden. So here we have this fabulous place. Where are we located? On a hill. Right? In Riverside. There's all that expanse down there. And yet somehow, for a few years, we've managed to try and be hidden. We're not hidden anymore, are we? No. We're not hidden anymore. We're not hiding. We're not trying to shine a little light and just keep it all to ourselves. What we've done in 2018 together in these 10 months has been absolutely amazing. I've been thinking about this all week and in the past couple of days and on the drive down. As we're finishing up 2018 and we're moving into 2019 and the possibilities and the potentialities that we have that lie before us, I've been reflecting on this year, turning within and being introspective and contemplative about all the things that we've accomplished. In March, I arrived, and one of the very first things we did early on is we created this tree over here with everybody's intentions, with what it is that brings you here, what it is that brings you life, brings you joy. These are all representations of light, and we created that tree. And remember, we rooted that tree in consciousness. We rooted that tree here in community. And we had the opportunity that month, too, to really begin to do some deep healing. For far too long in our community, we had just been getting by. We had been surviving, not thriving. And what I know is that this community stepped forward and leaned into a healing process. And we brought it all up for light to be seen. And we did that in Johnson Hall. If you'll remember, there are papers all over the walls of false beliefs, hidden beliefs, old ideas that we plastered all over the walls to then be seen, to then be acknowledged. The pain and the hurt and the anger and the sorrow and everything else. And then everybody had a chance to pray, to shift our consciousness around those different areas in our family, our community. And after prayer, then y'all shredded that stuff up like crazy little itty bitty bits of paper. It's like people are like, rap, 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 right? And release. And that began our journey together. And since then, week after week after week, I've seen this community grow. I've seen this community shift in consciousness. I've seen this community continue to shine its light brighter and brighter and brighter. Here within, and then also without, into the larger community. This community has been willing to do its work. Individuals in this community have been willing to do their work, their individual work of letting the old stuff go and focusing on the new, of turning their light and shining it into the shadow for it to be revealed and for it to be healed. One of the ways that we've done this is through our classes. So one of the things that has shifted here is in these 10 months, almost 75 people have taken classes this year. And that doesn't even include the workshops, the morning table, or any of the other ways that we engage, but just in classes. And so this morning, I'd invite Anita to come forward. We have a few people that that completed classes, that completed the foundations class. Go ahead and come on up. And Anita facilitated this first foundations class that we taught this summer. And so I invite her to call forth our beloveds and hand them their certificates for that.
Martin Ross.
Yay, Marty.
Thank you.
Jocelyn Williams.
She's sick, but her mom can come and accept it for her.
Thank you for being a wonderful teacher.
Oh, you're welcome. And Casey Wilson, who is
There's also, so her husband, Wayne, will accept it on her behalf. It's kind of like the Oscars. There you go.
Thank you so much.
all right.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We have more certificates to come in the new year because, it takes a while for everything to be processed. We have more certificates to come in the new year. So that's one of the ways that we've been shining our light, as being willing to do the work, being willing to take the deep dive, to begin the healing process, our own healing. As we're doing our own healing, then we are also raising the consciousness of healing on the planet as well. And then together as a community, we really stepped into engagement. We really stepped into shining our light brighter in the city of Riverside and in the Inland Empire. And one of the first ways that we did that is we invited the community in here in June for a candlelight vigil and prayer vigil for Families Belong Together. And we had 150 beloveds, including the Riverside Resistance Revival Chorus here. And it was a night of healing, a night of transformation, a night of shining light out into the greater community, illuminating and shedding light on issues that were happening at the time with children being separated from their families as they were attempting to come to this country seeking asylum. And some of those children are still separated. And some of them have been returned and reunited. And from that sparked a whole slew of opportunity for our community to show up in a greater way. We began partnering with Inland Congregations United for Change and attending the HEAT roundtables with Sergio Diaz, the chief of police, and community members about the practices of hiring, education, or hiring equipment, accountability, and training for our police officers. And this month we recognize and we honor Taisha Miller, who this is the 20th year since her tragic loss, since she was killed. So we honor her as well, and her life, and the changes that have happened in Riverside, that Riverside has been leading the way as a result of that tragic incident. And we worked with ICUC, the same group, to bring training here to the center, to create a greater awareness about ways of engagement, socially engaging. So there's wonderful things happening through our affiliation with them. Then we also have the Interfaith Movement for Human Integrity. Hilda Cruz stood here and spoke about going to Adelanto and visiting the detainees in Adelanto on that one evening. And since then, a group from this center has been meeting with her on a regular basis as to next steps, as to how we can be the leaders in forming an alliance within Riverside and within the inland valleys to go and do the work of what's called accompaniment, of accompanying asylum seekers and detainees as they walk through the process to be able to be in the United States legally. And so we had the opportunity then to actually visit Adelanto and to bear witness as one of the detainees seeking asylum went through his court hearings. We had the opportunity with the same group last week to go to Adelanto and join with our Jewish sisters and brothers as we stood outside in front of the detention center and celebrated Hanukkah and the light and shining the light and bringing the light to this place. And we had the opportunity at that same evening, that same time, to speak with somebody from the inside and let them know that everybody was outside. Over 100 people were gathered outside, holding light, holding space. This is our community, bringing light, bearing light in the world. This is some of the things that we are doing here. And we joined with Care Portal this year. Care Portal to help with children who may be separated from their families or who may have already been separated from their families to be reunited, to provide goods that they need, such as beds, such as stoves, so that families can be together, so that families can stay together or be reunited. We also worked with Rotary and Olive Crest, and we participated in Be the Miracle this year. For you, this group, all of us, created a happier holiday season for 40 foster youth through Be the Miracle. So give yourselves a hand for that too. And we supported the Mana Project again this year, providing Thanksgiving for families who would not have otherwise experienced Thanksgiving or had anything to eat during Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving time. You guys are amazing. And that's just 10 months. Think of what we're going to do next year. Starting off with the Martin Luther King Jr. Walkathon. We're participating in that, and Earl's right here, so if you want to know more about that, see Earl afterward. There's Earl. He's leading that up. He's the chair of the Walkathon, and he's here with us, so yes. We'll be participating in that. Then on February 2nd, the Riverside Resistance Revival Chorus and the Seattle Peace Chorus are joining here on this stage to provide a wonderful concert called Music Crosses Borders. The day before, they will have gone down to San Isidro, and they're intending to walk across the border and visit Casa de Migrante, one of the shelters that is there in Tijuana, and then they'll be bringing those stories back as well as providing the concert. And then, I don't know, February 9th, there's just a small little thing that we're doing. Yeah, especially me, I might want to be here for that. We're doing the installation. And we're calling it Walking in Love. And what I want you to understand is that this is not a celebration about me. This is a celebration about us. This is our community celebration of a new beginning, of walking forward in love in a whole new way and shining our light in a whole new way, a whole new wonderful way. And so that's what's coming up just in the next couple of months, of how we're already beginning to shine our light in larger and greater ways. I already showed you the new logo a couple of weeks ago. You're going to start seeing that more often, the Rain Cross logo with a teaching symbol embedded in it, the combination of those two. So you're going to be seeing those wonderful things unfolding as well, so that it'll be even more obvious who we are and where we are. And Casey has this crazy vision, which I think is wonderful, of lighting up the whole building, like with great big floodlights and stuff, so that we become a landmark as you're coming into Riverside right here. So we will definitely be a beacon on the hill if we're all lit up like that. So what a wonderful way, and what wonderful ways that we have been shining our light in the community already. And we have even greater ways unfolding in the year ahead. So I want to thank you for blessing me with the gift of your light and the gift of your love, and for shining your light and your love in my direction as well. Because there's two types of light sources. There's the original source, and then there's the reflection. So we've got the sun, which would be like an original source, right? And then we've got the moon, which doesn't emit light in and of itself, but reflects the sun's light. And then you have all of us, and we're both. We're both. We get to illuminate. We're the original source of light, and yet we also get to reflect each other's light and reflect each other's love. And how beautiful that is to bear witness, to see the light that you are, the light that you emit, and the light that you reflect. It truly is my honor. So glory, shine, be glorious. The word glory is used to describe the presence of the divine made manifest. And that's who each one of you is. That's who we are collectively. So I invite us all to shine and be glorious. Merry Christmas. Happy solstice, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy Diwali, happy light. Blessings. So let's come together in consciousness. I invite our practitioners and our core council to please stand and surround the sanctuary with their light and with their love. And I invite us to come together in consciousness. Recognizing right here and right now that there is only one power, one presence. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that which God did not create was never ever created. So what I know is that all of creation is the divine made manifest. All of creation is glory. All of the creation is glorious. And it is from light that we are all born, and it is light that we all truly are. So I recognize my oneness here and now as the power and the presence of light, as the way shower, as light itself. I am the light of the world. This is true for me, and this is true for each one present here. Each one is the light bearer. Each one is the way shower. Each one is the divine made manifest, the divine light, the divine spark that shines forth brilliantly and luminously and most gloriously. And so I speak my word here and now for each one present, recognizing the light within each one, that it is that eternal light, that is that eternal life that is expressing, living, moving, and having its being in, through, and as each one. And this light cannot be hidden, nor do we try to hide it. What I know is that each one steps forth gloriously and empowered and emboldened to be the power and the presence of the light on earth. For while we are on earth, we are the light of the world. While we are in the world, we are not necessarily of the world, but we are and always will be the light of the world. For truly there is only one light source, and we are that source made manifest, and we also have the ability to reflect it back and to reflect it out, thereby expanding the light, thereby expanding the love, thereby expanding the life itself. And so I give thanks for all the healing that has occurred in this community. I give thanks for the willingness of each one here to be the light, to turn within, to be introspective, and to do their own individual work, recognizing that it is that work that then opens out a way for the imprisoned splendor to escape. And I recognize that the truth of who each one is the divine. Who each one is light itself. And so it is light that meets light. It is love that meets love. It is joy that meets joy. It is peace that meets peace. This is who we are. This is who we've come to be. And so we set our light on a lampstand for all who enter these doors to be able to see. We set our light beyond these walls as the healing light and the healing energy for our beloved Riverside, our inland valleys, our nation, and the world. Each one of us is that source of light, that place where God shows up. And so I simply release this word into the law, knowing that it is done, knowing that it is absolutely so. And together we say, and so it is.
Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. I open my heart even in the dark. The light of my God always shines bright, even in the night. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. I open my heart this miracle day. The love of my God lights up the way, gives all the good that I can take. So I shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. We are the ones, the grace of this world, the truth in our souls lifts us up high. We know we can fly. Shine, be glorious, join me, love the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine, reflect the spirit of mine, Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your love again. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love, so I can shine.